Currently, one of the biggest mysteries going on in the Kingdom Hearts series is surrounding the Master. Kind of just everything about him. Like, we know a bit about him, but at the same time, we really don't. We just know he is the earliest thing to a starting point for the Kingdom Hearts series as far as lore goes. We can acknowledge when it comes to Kingdom Hearts lore, potentially the most powerful figure in the Kingdom Hearts universe he is, and likely the smartest as well. Out of all the things that we want to know about him, the thing the community is quite obsessed with is knowing his name, simply enough. We've known about this character for borderline a decade now, and we still don't know his name. Instead of calling him the Master of Master or Mom, having a actual name for him could be nice. Which I imagine we'll learn eventually, of course, but we have no idea when. Well, that time could possibly be a lot sooner than we think. Possibly in Dark Road. The first scene to really tease the Master's name was in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, in a cutscene dubbed The Encounter, where the Master had a conversation with young Xehanort about, you know, darkness and life, that sort of thing. When the Master would tell Xehanort who he is in this scene, the audio would cut out and it would be censored with a bright light.
So, your name?
What did I just... Never mind. I guess there's no harm. My name is...
Subscribe.
Okay, so anyways, the Kingdom Hearts community in response to this then started theorizing that his name actually is Light, which I don't think is entirely impossible considering we have a character in the series that is named just Darkness in quotations, a literal darkness. So if the Master and Darkness really are rivals of each other as Union Cross set up and constantly at war, then the Master's name being Light would kind of have a full circle feeling to it for the story, even if it's kind of odd. Very odd. Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, however, is going to be showing us the first encounters between the Master and Xehanort, and potentially an extension of the encounter in Remind if we end up seeing multiple interactions between the two in Dark Road, which, based on that Remind scene, that was not their first encounter. Biggest indicator of this is Xehanort being in his regular outfit compared to the organization coat when we see him in the Dark Road trailer, which he does not have the organization coat yet at this point in the story, or I'd assume so. The Master doesn't likely reveal his name to Xehanort until that very moment we see in Remind. So it's a bit of a gamble on whether we actually see him say his name in the future, or if we even revisit that scene in the future in full. But I would say it's decently likely to revisit that moment. I can imagine Dark Road at certain points throughout its story, when we get the full story within this month hopefully, that we have little moments after big events in Xehanort's story where we have conversations with the Master. A scene where they first meet up, a scene where the Master gives Xehanort the organization coat, and then that will be the scene where we see the Master say his name. Or maybe they just censor it again. But at that moment, we'll just have to see what they decide to do. I do truly believe it's very possible the Master reveals his name in this game. Although that would be a major thing, they could save it for Kingdom Hearts 4 or a bigger title, of course, but Kingdom Hearts doesn't always operate that way. We can get big reveals in any game. Just look at Union Cross, for example. We learned that the player characters are what end up being the Dream Years and Dream Drop Distance. Probably one of the darker things the Kingdom Hearts series has ever revealed to its fans, but that's just one of them. Ventus, to fans who haven't played Union Cross, is just a completely different character, and same with Marluxia or Laurium. However, it's weirdly kind of fitting that the Master, a character who was introduced in Key, which this game is technically still part of the Key saga, that we find out his true name, his true identity, perhaps through what would be the last game in the timeline for said saga. We have Kingdom Hearts Key, Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, Missing Link, which is not out yet, and then Dark Road, likely completing the Key saga fully, or even if it's not the last game in it, should be the last game in the timeline of events that is the Key saga. Anything else that would probably release would end up being another prequel or some sort of event or backstory on the Master of Master and his come up perhaps, which will probably happen eventually, I'd assume. But this game, Dark Road, should be the last game in the Key timeline. After Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, we likely move on to games like Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts 1 in the timeline. There's still a decent gap there, but we still have to see how Dark Road ends. But I'm just here to talk about the possibility. What do you think? Do you believe the master will reveal his name in Dark Road, or do you believe it'll be saved for a future title? Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, you already know what to do. Leave a like, share it with a friend or a family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the union, all you have to do is hit that red subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out, you guys. Bye.
Now she's a daydreamer. She's always thinking about him. No more room in this picture for you to fit in. Now she's crazy.